Hi, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Cobalt Cafe. It is week number 264 of our series. Glad to have you with us. My name is Rick Lupert. I'm the MC, your host for this evening of poetry, or possibly this morning or early afternoon of poetry if you happen to be in Japan, as some of us are. Not me, but some of us. So there you go, trying to be inclusive here with our time zones. Tonight, in addition to our open reading, our featured reader is José Enrique Medina, fresh with a brand new chapbook from Rattle magazine, which thousands of people received in the mail. So how cool is that? Really excited that you're here, Jose. We're going to do a little bit of our open reading first, and then we will get to you. So stand by. It's going to be a great night. If you would like to participate in tonight's open reading and you haven't already done so, please send me a message in the chat, and I will be happy to add you to the list. You get to read up to 2 poems. That's the maximum number of poems you can read, and less is more is the suggested time limit. There you go. Finally, oh, not finally, there's two more things. We do have a 1 drink minimum here at the Cobalt. Make sure you have a beverage with you to help honor that long-standing Cobalt Cafe tradition. And finally, and I think I really mean finally this time, the chat room is available for you to interact with each other since everyone is muted out of an abundance of caution. So there you go. I think that is, so make sure you have the chat room open. So that's it. I think that's everything I need to tell you. Before we get going with our first open reader, I would like to ask if there are any questions. Finn Bell shoots her hand up right away.
Yes, Rick Lupert. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Wow. Both of those experiences sound amazing, and I think I would, under the guise of conflict, try to make peace with them and start a community. And I would like to have a community with either of those options, actually. Is that possible? I think it's possible.
Yeah, diplomatic, very diplomatic. Love it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Good question. Martin, what's your question?
Oh, good evening, Rick. My question tonight is, have you ever played Mahjong?
I haven't played Mahjong, but I have created a number of Mahjong flyers for different organizations. So I feel Mahjong adjacent in that sense.
Well, my most memorable time was on the floor of the aisle of an airplane on the way back from Japan. So, not sure I can ever top that.
Yeah, I didn't see Mahjong break out on the flight back to Japan this time around for me, at least not in the cabin class I was in. So, who knows? Maybe it happened in another part of the plane. Good question, Martin. Thank you. Any other questions before we get going? Kathabella Wilson, yes.
Rick, do you have a special emotional moment attached to either a rose or a key or some combination of those two that you could tell us?
A rose or a key? Well, I do recall when I was very young, probably 2 or 3 years old, I took a key, a car key, and I tried to start up the house by inserting it into the electrical outlet. And I don't remember the specific emotions of the moment. In fact, I don't remember anything else about that moment. I just know that that happened.
Wow, that's an original.
One would hope it isn't an epidemic of that happening.
It's probably good that you don't remember what happened.
No doubt. Cathabella, thank you. Good question. All right. We're going to get on to our open reading now. Christopher Bogart, you are on deck. You will be our second reader. Please welcome now Denise Dumars. Hello, Denise.
Hi, wow. Now I'm thinking about starting the house with a key. That's wild. Okay, I'll start with this one. I got two short ones. This is somewhat short. The next one is really short. And this I wrote after the fires. It's called Blue Skies. We have been down this road before, but not so fast, not so far. Short-sightedness may be their long game. Ours is what we make of it. I still see blue skies, the water's edge, and all the helpful people. Not all palm trees ended up as candles. Some are still the beacons of our bergs. I go into this fight in armor, not knowing the temperature at which steel melts. A bookstore stands, Octavia's predictions sit like lead in my stomach, and I do know the temperature at which book paper burns. Still, I hold my amethyst, cold as midnight, shaped to quell the tremors and the pain. At least we're here, and that's what's important. A stubborn streak of sentiment, immobile as a Botox smile. Hope has had its feathers singed, but still it tries to sing. And what else can we do but fight the power, whether fire or fear or fundamental fallacies, with everything we've ever had and everything we've got? And this is a little short fantasy one that was just picked up by Dreams and Nightmares magazine. Fairy ring on my lawn, emissaries in the sunlight of the brains of the operation, hidden deep within the ground, alien face in the grass, asking to speak to our real leader. Thank you.
Our real leader, indeed. Well done, Denise. Enjoyed that quite a bit. Thanks for doing a stellar job opening up the reading for us.
Thanks.
Round of applause for Denise Dumars. Nice job, Denise. On deck, Sean Mahoney. I'm getting really distracted. I just got a new version of Zoom, and all of your clapping and reaction effects are now much more dramatic and flowing up the screen. So it's very exciting to look at here on this end. All right, on deck, Sean Mahoney, please welcome now Christopher Bogart. Hello, Christopher.
Hello, Rick. I hope everyone's good tonight. Yeah, I've got a Zoom account too, and it's a lot of really cool features, not the least of which is rabbit ears and a few other things. But in any event, I digress. If you will let me share the screen, I'm going to read the first poem as a kind of comment to that story you just said about opening the house with a key. It's called Don't Do That Again. All of these things, by the way, I did as a child. Do you remember that day when you were 3 and you pushed your little finger into the light socket to see what turned the lights on? Shocking, wasn't it? Don't do that again. You remember at 4 when you thought mothballs smelled so great that you put them up your nose to get a better whiff and you sniffed? Don't sniff that again. Do you remember at 5 when the kid down the street suggested you quench your thirst with a glass of kerosene and you drank it? Don't drink it again. Do you remember when you were 6 and you decided to pet the cute little organ grinder's monkey on Flatbush Avenue and he bit you? Don't pet him again. Do you remember when you were 7 and you loved the smell of DDT so much that you jumped on the back of a truck for a ride? Were you crazy? Don't do that again. And one lonely night when you were 8 and you thought you heard something so very strange come creeping out from under your bed, take my advice. Cover your head. Don't look like you did then. Don't do that again. That's the first one. And the second one is a more I'm normally more overt in my political opinions in poetry, but in this particular case, I'm going to be a little more oblique. This is called It Seemed a Quiet Funeral. Benjamin Franklin said, they who give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. It seemed a quiet funeral, a dignified affair. Everything was by the book, with very little fuss. There were so few mourners, and those that were there were whimpering, their soft broken sobs muffled in silken handkerchiefs. Did you know him? Someone asked. Not very well, another replied. And you? There was a pause. I thought I did. A measured response. He had been ailing, it seemed, only a brief space in time, a mere wink in history's eye. What paucity of liberty, what meager remains. Maybe he could be revived, I optimistically opined. Too late, I fear. They have already dug the grave. Let's hope it doesn't happen to us. Thank you.
Christopher, thank you. Thank you for especially for that tale of caution you gave us at the beginning. Well done. Words that we hope to continue to live by, if you know what I mean. Chris, thanks for being here. Round of applause for Christopher Bogart. On deck is Jasmine Vallejo Love. Please welcome now Sean Mahoney. Hello, Sean.
Hey, Rick. Hello, everybody. I have a pair for you. This first one is sort of self-explanatory. It's called Minneapolis. I dissolve like an antacid, turning my warm water into a pool of bubbles, hissing with relief. From, you may ask, many cities fallen, wink, wink, crime and vermin infestation, liberal think doublespeak weaving through the last 50 years or so it would seem if not for facts and data. Damn stumbling blocks, damn truth, damn spot. 20 people shot in Minneapolis today at a Catholic school, so I guess that means guns and violence won't need an Uber. Idea, Vesper, rise from asphalt play yards, from the dirty lockers and cafeteria mysteries. I guess that means the very sound and sacred gun policies of my still fizzing water will remain sanctified and settled. The Lord will have it no other way. The distrust of my gut, which heaves and retches as though a curriculum made from gunpowder. My gut cuts the tape, cuts open the body and blood and bread loaf hot to the tongue, like the blood of lovers tossed in the salad with figs and bacon. So much bacon that I feel I could live here indefinitely and never eat the same meal more than once, never take the same route to the confessional.
Sean, are you still there? You might have frozen. What?
Oh, geez. Do you have me back?
I have you back.
How long have I been gone?
We got the whole poem, and then you froze.
Yeah, I started speaking in tongues. You probably didn't want to hear that part.
Is
This
there a
other
second
piece,
poem?
there is. This is called A Young Piece. Long past points of no return or no going back, and past due and nearly past an expiration date. Of course, I'm talking about the disease, my multiple sclerosis. Not a pleasant topic, as if it ever were, but me, are further in this engagement. Nothing is complete.
Looks like Sean is frozen again.
Or under repair. We froze again.
Yeah, in the middle of that one. Not sure what's going on there, Sean. You want to give it one more shot on that second poem?
All right. A young piece. Long past points of no return or no going back, and past due and nearly past an expiration date. Of course, I'm talking about the disease, my multiple sclerosis. Not a pleasant topic, as if it ever were, but me, are further in this engagement. Nothing is completely stopped that I know. One cannot peek internally, axons with closed signs or under repair. A visceral distinction, a place wherein my emotional lability can disorder more salty tears, more tears of happy discomfort, of past apprehension, and of absolute connection. No shame. I too am having a very human experience. I am going through the shit. I could not recall how to spell sclerosis a moment ago, how to kiss you goodnight without causing either of us pain. I worry about the backyard, preparing for the fall back of soil, of knees, the skin of cut-resistant gloves, and this desire for portraits of my yard as a young piece of artist. Thank you. Did we make it?
We got the whole thing.
Sweet.
We did it. May you have more and more human experiences, Sean. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for sharing your work. Glad we got
Thank
to
you.
it.
Cheers.
Round of applause for Sean Mahoney. On deck, we got two more readers, and then our featured reader, José Enrique Medina. On deck is Martin Parker. Please welcome now Jasmine Vallejo Love. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, can you hear me? Great. So I've got two short poems for you. The first is a love poem, and the second is a poem on disability. To my partner, the reason I persist. As long as I can cocoon in the swell of our marriage, I won't completely crumble like slow disintegration of our 123-year-old home's brick foundation. Promise to butterfly kiss the hurt, grin at me every morning, dance in your towel and sing, keep cooking delectable meals. I need the fuel to counter duress, cut the seams of my patterns. Body weight lift instead of stress eat, walk versus sit idly, create rather than consume, right to resist, resist my unraveling mind ignited by each news cycle. Fight for the Care Bear stare that is our love, induce my art to take flight, freeze my river like tears, use them as ice cubes to chill the rage that invades my core, rumbles my stiff joints. I stay sane, subsist, self-protect, as long as I fixate on you. So that was first poem. Second poem is called Invisible Illnesses. When my hair follicles light up like toxic fireflies, you cannot see the screaming behind my eyes or begin to understand that my nerves combust the way lightning strikes turn sand into shards of glass. You who jumps and runs and lifts and takes the stairs on purpose for extra exercise can't comprehend my leaded legs. Joints blowing up like balloon animals, bone on bone knees sliced so sharply I can feel pain in my teeth like metal scraping the pot bottom. You can't imagine torturous flare-ups lasting days, rationalizing suicide, as if my body were peppered with 1,000 paper cuts sunk in a lemon salt alcohol bath, crawled for hours on jagged rocks, then spine stomped, compressed, forced fetal position. Can't you push through it, dear? You ask, doubting. Think I'm a drama queen because I still have all my limbs, but you refuse to educate yourself on fibromyalgia or spondyloarthritis. Fancy words, you repeat, for things that aren't real if you try hard enough. I can't control much, but I will walk away from your toxicity. Your denial of my pain, I will no longer labor endlessly to convince you. There is power in choosing myself, energy reserved for the believers, those who offer shoulders to lean on when the fatigue sets in. Like feelings of love have no discernible visual, nor do I, and we both still exist. Thank you.
You do indeed, Jasmine, and thank you for existing here with us tonight. Really glad to have you in this space. Please come back and participate more with us. Thanks for being here. Round of applause for Jasmine Vallejo Love. Well done. On deck is our featured reader, Jose, please welcome now Martin Parker. Hello, Martin.
Hello again, Rick. I have a couple of poems here tonight. First one is a brand new entry in a collection I'm hoping to maybe publish someday that I'm tentatively calling my Neoplatonic Memories. This one so far is titled Gilded Memory. A bullet gliding on butterfly wings, the sunlit train to Himeji Joe tried to rock me gently to sleep en route to the castle grounds. But the lilt of her voice and her golden curls kept me awake as we parsed her name into the local lexicon as the scent of Fuji passed by. Then rumors of secrets I couldn't decode hid her behind a sliding screen, a promise of mahjong retiling my mind, and she never spoke to me again. And then this second one, another recent one, and I'm calling Natural Renaissance. Lay down your weary refrain of why can't I do what I think I should, to listen to the call of the breeze that blows through the leaves at the edge of the wood and leads me to wander within, to rest my soul on the soil of the earth, releasing the worries of this world by letting your thoughts inspire rebirth. And I'll put my usual links in the chat. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Martin. Well done. The whole mahjong thing has come around that you just like you promised it would. Well done. Thank you so much for being here. Round
Thank
of
you so
applause.
much.
Sure. Round of applause for Martin Parker. Okay. After our featured reader on deck, first part of the next part of the open reading will be Linda V.E. Crawford. That leads us now to our featured reader, José Enrique Medina. Jose is a person who has participated in this reading before. He's been an open reading participant. Glad to have you back in this featured spot, Jose. Anyone who subscribes to Rattle already has a book by Jose, because just last week they published his book Haunt Me. It's one of the cool things that Rattle does is they publish 4 chapbooks a year and they send them out with the magazine. So if you happen to be one of the people published, thousands of people get your book, which is like pretty amazing considering, if you think about how many books you've ever sold at readings or online, it's probably not as many as Rattle sends out to people. So that's quite an achievement, Jose. So really excited for you, excited to have this book in my possession. Jose earned his BA in English from Cornell University. As mentioned, the book Haunt Me won the 2025 Rattle Chapbook Prize. His work has appeared in a number of other places, including Best Microfiction 2019 Anthology, the Los Angeles Review, Tahoma Literary Review, and other places. He's the founder of one of probably the best named poetry residencies in existence, Chickens and Poetry. So perhaps you'll tell us some more about that, Jose. Would love to hear more about what that's all about. Are there real chickens? Can you hang out with them? Is it like the question I was asked earlier about the duck-sized horses? I don't remember, but anyway, that's an aside. Really excited that you're here with us, Jose. Thank you so much. Please welcome our featured reader, Jose Enrique Medina.
Thank you so much, Rick, for having me. And also thank you for doing this for so many years. As I get older, I really appreciate community leaders and just to acknowledge all the time and effort you put into this. I really appreciate it. And yes, it's called Chickens and Poetry. And I put a link in my Facebook and I just added a video there. So I give you guys a tour of me unboxing. As part of winning Rattle, they gave me 500 books. And then so I show you, I'm unwrapping the books, but then I also do a tour of the house and I show you my chickens, their lives. I did forget to show the bunnies, so the bunnies are probably jealous. Okay, so I'll just start reading, and since we're on a rattle theme, I'm gonna read. I've been published in Rattle before this, so I'm gonna read the first poem that got published in Rattle, and the title is Glossary of Want. Kiss me in Spanish. Grab my waist and squeeze me against you. Wait a moment. Let silence open space for language. Let words bloom in the hush that's expanding between us. When the glossary of want is about to burst, lean forward slowly. Close your eyes, part your lips. Take me to the country where I don't need to be translated. Are you guys able to hear me? Yeah, just making sure. Okay. So the book Haunt Me, it's about the people who have died in my family, and specifically kind of not feeling my mom present, but at the same time feeling other ghosts present that maybe are not as friendly. So the first poem in the book is called Niños de la Tierra. I grew up believing there were children under the earth. When it rains, they come out, Abuela said, wrapped tight in the exoskeleton of her rebozo. One sting and you're dead. After a storm, my little brothers and I guarded the windows with plastic swords, watching mud shine in moonlight. They're bald like newborns, Abuela whispered with her mothball breath. They cry like a child. We listen between wind's pauses for their wail. If we broke a plate, she frowned, her face wrinkled like caterpillar skin. They have 6 legs and little baby fingers at the end of each leg. They kidnap bad kids. We hid, curled in blankets like cocoons. Her face veiled in spidery lace. She slammed her hand against the front door. We huddled together. Don't go outside. The children of the earth will get you. What are they? We asked. They're Satan's children, part baby, part tiger. One day, I flipped her the middle finger. I'm going to grab that little finger and twist it and give it to the earth babies, she snarled. They'll drag you to hell. When Abuela died, we found a dead cockroach and pretended it was her. We buried her in the backyard. Then we sprinkled holy water, sealing the grave and trapping her underground. All that summer, we ran on top of her, laughing in a garden of swollen roses. The the book kind of centers about me missing my mom and 3 ghosts that keep coming back. So in this next poem, titled 3 Ghosts, I introduce you guys to the 3 main ghosts that haunt me. So 3 ghosts. Number 1, Abuela doesn't respect international borders. She crosses El Rio Grande, floats into my apartment in East LA. She died from breast cancer, was buried in Mexico. She rifles through drawers, finds gay porn magazines, and says, "Que gross." She scurries off in a tense mass 3 times a day, like she did when she was alive. Tomorrow, she'll search through my dresser again, frown at naked men, and mutter, "Que gross," like she has for 30 years. I want to ask, what are you looking for? But it's useless to hang words on ears of shadow. Number 2, a pro boxer, Tio Arturo punched mom's face, slammed her head against a concrete wall. No salgas con hombres, she said, though she was separated from my father. She didn't speak to him for decades. Then he got prostate cancer. Quiet, respectful. She stepped into the hospital waiting room. Tio's wife squeezed her hand. Gracias por venir. Weeks later, I walk, dazed, beneath leafless trees, unable to row the ocean of her forgiveness, thinking of her blood-sealed eye, thinking that pity's made my mother crazy. And number 3, it's dark, but if you squint, you'll see a twisted shape, a hunchbacked woman in the tiny garage-converted apartment, aluminum foil canceling windows. Non-stop, Tia Tencha scratches her forehead, the spot where the cancer started. The scab falls, exposing pink meat. It regrows bigger, and again she tears it off. She mumbles, crickets are trying to get me. Claws at her skull, shrinks from light, refuses to go outside. The crust is scarab-shaped, grows back wider, fatter. She holds it in her hand, strokes it and whispers, sleep, chiquito, sleep. So just 3 more poems. This is and again, I kind of didn't feel my mom's presence around, so this is what prompted the whole collection. And this is the title poem called "Haunt Me." Against the greenhouse he built, the soul of Tio Arturo leans, smelling faintly of brillantina. Abuela drifts beneath cherry blooms, thumbing her rosary, whispering prayers. Mother, where are you? Even the twins, who were never born, are here, tossing big-headed mums, each one a soft grenade of memory. You died 4 years ago, your silence unfolding like petals, and still you haven't stepped into my garden or caressed my amapola blossoms. What are you waiting for? Haunt me, crush lemongrass under heels. Let me smell you. Ring wind chimes when there's no breeze, so I'll know. Or become the breeze itself and lift my petals one more time. Eyes open, ears wide. I wait, but you never arrive. The twins giggle, brush against my flowers, and pollinate your absence. This next poem is just, if anybody, if you had somebody who has cancer, that's usually like a long way. You see them getting sicker. So this is what prompted this poem when she was still alive and seeing her get, ill. The title is Broken Seashells. Since you got sick, I've been turning over the word retreat. It can mean a sergeant barking, retreat, and a bombed out regiment fleeing, or a spa weekend for a fabulous gay boy, getting a pedicure at the Ritz. I love a word that swings both ways. 7 letters that say, soldier run for cover, or girl, this makeover slays. But there's a third meaning, quieter, to withdraw, not from war or into luxury, but into yourself, because you need the dark. Enter the snail, hauling its exit on its back, a soft thing in a hard shell. I vanish too when white boys shout spick and flush me from English-only restrooms. when you drool, tremble, and doctors look away, when the world's a chainsaw and I'm soft-hearted wood, when seas split open and I can straddle both shores. I brought you to the retreat of this page to ask you, what if we're born already wounded? Have you ever felt like a mollusk with a broken shell that you can't close the gap that's unmaking you? Some days I carry the rubble like it's a badge. Look at me. I drag my wreckage everywhere. Other days I want to give up. Let the tide take me. But here's the silver lining. You're just as fucked, dragging your broken home, doubting your sanity, still crawling. And even as I hide inside my busted shell, I like knowing you're out there on some dark beach, safe, dreaming. Your fortress, just the world's softest pillow. And this is the last poem that I'm going to read. I kind of like what we did in the book. I wanted a quiet ending, and then I do the acknowledgments, and there's like a post-credit scene called, so kind of like a last poem after the book ends, and the title is Encore, Encore, Encore. When the dead crawl out of the walls, I do a striptease. Show off my big belly, scribbled with hairs. Chicken legs, hands and feet yellow as Bart Simpson. The departed hound, the perfume of my bare skin. Abuela swoons, Tío Arturo and Tia Tencha catcher. I open the fridge. Cold hardens my nipples. Freezer mist curling around me like luxurious locks of hair. I cover my private like Botticelli's Venus. But sometimes, during my strut, I wonder what it means to be loved only by those whose touch can't leave a mark. My admirers bite their not fingers, dying for a chance to be meat and bone again. I take out a popsicle, lick it slow. Que delicious. They lean in, starved for flavor. Trapped in paradise, they miss their flesh, the cruel pleasure of bruise, the finger-sucking joy of having five senses. With ghosts for fans, my days are never dull. Even tossing a popsicle stick has them gasping. Out of shape, out of work, and friendless. I'm a loser in the eyes of the living, but a star in the glow of the afterlife, striking sexy poses for eyes made eternal by death. Thanks again for having me.
Jose, that was awesome. There's so much there's a lot of emotion in the words and the things that you're telling us, and not just the things that you're telling us with the words that you chose to create these poems, but the way that you read them brings a whole lot of emotion to them as well. So I'm sure it landed that way on a lot of people. I really dug it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for haunting us with your poems. Let me paste some stuff into the chat. Ooh, wrong room. The waiting room does not need to see it. There we go. Paste it in the chat. And I'm going to share the screen to show the broadside I made for your poem Haunt Me. There it is. Anyone can download this now at the Cobalt Poets website. The link is in the chat. It's an 11 by 17 print that you're welcome to just have look at on your screen, print out, put up on your wall, shrink it to wallet size if you'd like, whatever you want to do. It's available for you. This is how we compensate our featured poets. And you can see in the chat that I hope you'll consider contributing to the virtual passing of the hat. And in this case, Jose's PayPal and Venmo are there for you to be able to do that. Just like if you were at an in-person reading and someone passed the hat around for the featured reader after they read, well, the PayPal and the Venmo are the hat. So please consider doing that. If you want to keep in touch with Jose, there is a link to his website there, medinawrites.com. He pasted earlier his Facebook ID in the chat as well. And finally, the chapbook, which Rattle published just last week, which thousands of people already have, but maybe you don't, is still available. You can buy it directly at rattle.com/publication/haunt-me. Well worth subscribing to Rattle because then you get all their chapbooks and you get to if you do it at the same time that their contest is running, your contest entry payment counts as your subscription fees. So it's really kind of a cool, very cool thing. And I'm sure that Jose thinks that they're especially cool right now that the book has gone out. So Jose, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right, round of applause for our featured reader, Jose Enrique Medina. I'll quickly mention that next week, our featured reader will be MC MoHagani Magnetek, who happens to be here with us in the room, just watching the reading. That's so cool that you showed up just to be here and check it out, MoHagani. Feel free to read a poem in the open if you'd like. Let me know if you'd like to do that. No pressure to do that, but you're invited to give us a taste of your featured reading for next week. Just a little cool trivia about MoHagani. Her work I encountered in Alaska last summer on the last day of my trip. Many of you know I just have a book out from that trip called High Moose Alert. Very last day of the trip, we went to the Alaska Museum, and MoHagani's poem was well represented in an exhibit there, and that inspired me to reach out to her to participate in the reading as a featured reader. So they'll be here next week as our featured reader, and you could send them secret messages now in the chat if you would like as well. All right, that leads us to the rest of tonight's open reading. This is who I have in this order on the list: Linda V.E. Crawford, Jeffrey Bryant, Finn Bell, Julian Matthews, the Collab, Cathabella, Siggy, Chris, and Jackie, Martina Robles Gallegos, Heather Romero Kornblum, Marilee Johnson, Bill Gaines, Heidi Casa, Jennifer Elise Wang, Dig Wayne, Fred Dodsworth, and me. That's it. If anyone else is here who would like to be added to the open reading list, please send me a message in the chat and I will be happy to add you. As a reminder, it's 2 poems maximum. As a reminder, less is more is our suggested time limit. There you go. Jeffrey Bryant, you are on deck. Please welcome now Linda V.E. Crawford. Hello, Linda.
Hello, everyone. Jose, it's so emotional. I really thoroughly enjoyed your reading, and I'm glad that it was mentioned about Rattle because I hadn't yet opened my Rattle until it was mentioned, so I ripped it open immediately. I will thoroughly read it. Thank you so much. I have a couple of newer poems that I'll read. Just been trying to do some new writing this year. This first one, I want to just give you the heads up that I will be pronouncing the title and the word throughout this first poem in the way that we do it in the Caribbean. So we say conch, tourists say conch. So, and that's the topic of the first poem. And then the second one is Haibun that I've been trying to work on. Conch. Nassau seaside food spots under the bridge, bright yellows, reds, pinks, sea animals painted in just the right places, Look down through the floor slats, deliberately old wooden flooring, the wonder of fish, smooth gray-backed stingrays living their lives, oblivious of toes above them. The oohs and ahs of drinkers, calique and sands, sloshing into see-through waters. Infusion of cruising tourists, infusion of laughter with different accents, infusion of lovers of whole fried fish, infusion of devotees of the conch, devouring ocean salt smell, onions, tang of lime, bell peppers, and the yes of Scotch bonnet. Your ceviche taste of ocean innocence, your straw market conch shell lulls with wave songs. Rest it in a smoothly carved mahogany bowl. Bring both home, pearly sand pink and polished brown. This is not your mother's, not the one you tried to claim, cling to as a keepsake after she died. That conch held and smelled deeply of evils fished from souls who came for readings. After 2 weeks, you already knew that conch was not for you. Send it away. Keep your own poem. And my second poem, been trying to toy with the writing of Haboons, a little hint of surrealism. Secrets lie in the ebb and flow of the ones who never considered packing their own relatives, not even their families poor, to send them on a journey in the belly of dank, work them to the death, lose their hands in sugar mills. Such a journey across the expanse of ocean, a journey fraught with salt, could never have crossed their minds. The taking, the deadening of cousins, sisters, brothers, of mothers, uncles, as they slipped or were dumped into unceasing waves or perished in the guts of uncouth ships. Such a taking would be a devastation beyond contemplation. The keepers of secrets who push laps along the shore told me so. A constant to and fro, ancestors forever buoy me. A constant to and fro, ancestors forever buoy me. Poem. Thank you.
Linda, thank you. Always a good reading from you. I would like to point out that I had red bell peppers as part of dinner tonight in preparation for hearing that image in your first poem. And we're all excited that we collectively inspired you to rip open your Rattle magazine tonight as well. Round of applause for Linda V. Crawford. Thank you so much for being here. On deck, Finn Bell. Please welcome now Jeffrey Bryant. Hello, Jeffrey.
Hi, Jose. Absolutely stellar, exquisite work tonight. Thank you so much for sharing it with everyone. I have a book out called The Catacombs of Vanished Lovers on Cherry Pie Press, but I'm not going to read anything from that tonight because yesterday was Labor Day, so I'm going to pull this one out of the file. It's called My Pumpkin Spice Rebel. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night, alive as you or me, cleaning the espresso machine at Starbucks closing, scooping tips for bus fare, taking a venti leak in the gender-neutral restroom, a warm mocha latte post-shift for his 11 p.m. metro downtown, to stay awake on the houseless sleeper car and beats to drown out the sounds of passengers off their meds. I know I'll see Joe Hill, barista, lead his comrades out from behind the counter, past everything organic, past everything fair trade, past everything recyclable, past trash separation, and onto the street, chanting for fair pay and the union label, his hair dyed revolutionary red, his clenched fist tattoo, his marching Doc Martens and skin-tight tee upon which it is written that the rich must be eaten. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night crashing at his boyfriend's apartment, his 10 days that shook the world crashing in unemployment. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill just now take a warm mug from his boyfriend's hands of instant unfair trade coffee and stare into the corporate sun. I dreamed I saw Joe Hill's boyfriend cozy up behind him and whisper into his ear, "There will be other strikes. There will be other demands and dreams of driving capitalism into the unforgiving sea. But for now, my love, my wobbled worker of the world, you're still my pumpkin spice rebel." Thank you.
Jeffrey, thank you. Great, really great reading. You got me wondering when you said the rich must be eaten, do they come in vegetarian? Think about it. Let me know. Important to know. Thank you so much, Jeffrey, for being here. Round of applause for Jeffrey Bryant. On deck, Julian Matthews. Please welcome now Finn Bell. Hello, Finn.
Hello, Rick. Hello, poets. Jose, absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, exquisite set. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So this is Naomi Shihab. It's from her book, Grace Notes. This is called Flashbulb. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch used to feature recipes from locals in the Sunday magazine once a week, large color photographs presenting the chef like a movie star. Daddy in starch white shirts with rolled up sleeves was making his famous hummus. Hummus was still exotic then, not stocked in every grocery store in the USA. Photographers arrived, set up an elaborate lighting. My father stirred and smashed his garbanzos. My mother presented the chopped garlic clove, gently as an aid in a surgical unit. He squeezed the lemon, drizzled the olive oil, grilled the pine nuts. They were both interviewed. Hail the lovely hummus. We sat in the corner out of camera view, hungry. The moment the interview session finished, hummus sitting like a giant flower on a round plate in the center of the fresh tablecloth, decorated with olives, griddled onions, and sumac. In Daddy's special way, we heard a loud pop. Small slivers of glass scattered everywhere. Bright, sharp daggers on our bare arms littering the tablecloth. And worst of all, the hummus. The photographer yelled. His flashbulb had never exploded before. We brushed each other off. My mama had glass in her hair. Many apologies. The man departed. Glad he'd finished his work before this happened. My father walked sadly with his masterpiece toward the trash can to throw it away. No one could eat it now. My mother cried, saying she could scrape off the top. I walked to my room and lay down, musing on how swiftly moods change. And once again, photography was dangerous. Naomi Shihab, Flashbulb. And this one is a Where I Am From poem. I am from roaring, smooth slide mouth of the ceramic smiling lion, and pimiento cheese whiz in pandesal, with sweating glass of tang calling us in from all the furthermost corners of Murphy Canyon. I am from the cool shade on the yielding bamboo steps off maiden aunt French porches, and waiting for weight of wet hollow blocks forming to finally be called coming home. I am from poking the looming santol tree and causing the sunning bubuli to scatter like flashing abstract art gems, receding in winding motion. I'm from red clay paths made by feet and hands greeting the blades of sugarcane, from Elena and Juliana and Lucio and Mariano, from forgetting the next sentence out of my mouth and holding on to past slights, from sharpened tongues coated with clever, sweetened words. I am from lahat ng gagawin mo ay babalik sa'yo, kaya ingat, and sobra-sobra at hindi sapat. I'm from the waves pulling me under after noon of Sábado de Gloria, from tortang talong on weekends and tutong ng kanin soaked in kape, from miswa and cruel gossip at family weddings, and poker and pulutan at the fringe of funeral after funeral, death following death. I am from newborn babies echoing in bat-voiced nights and mothers soothing lullabies, ringing the concrete of bomb shelters and doll houses, a Western civilization slowly eroding into the relentless dust. I am from slip between staying and flying away. I am here and never quite here, and there and lost along the way. Thank you.
Finn, thank you. Fantastic reading as always. You said many powerful things. The I am from prompt is such a great thing to write to. Everyone should have at least one I am from poem. I did get stuck on the I am from Cheese Whiz line though. That's gonna really stick with me for the rest of the week, just so you know. Um, thank you so much for being here. Round of applause for Finn Bell. She's so much more than Cheese Whiz, as we all know. On deck is the collab, Cathabella, Siggy, Chris, and Jackie. Please welcome now Julian Matthews. Hello, Julian.
Oh, hi. Share screen. Escape velocity. To leave the Earth, a rocket needs to get up to a speed of 40,000 kilometers an hour or 25,000 miles per hour. This is the minimum speed an object must reach to completely break free from its gravitational pull. What speed do you need to leave a city called home? A city you were born and bred in, a city you gave your all, a city you have a love-hate relationship with, a city once airy, congenial, spacious, now concrete and gray, crowded with billboards, malls, and traffic, gentrified, pricey, overrun by the cheesy, the fakery, all this superficiality. Tracy Chapman says all you need is a fast car, but is it fast enough? What is the escape velocity for one to break free from a city? Even the word velocity ends with city, like the one you're leaving behind, not in haste like a criminal in a white Bronco, or a race through a post-apocalyptic wasteland, or a desperate chase from a velociraptor, but a conscious, thoughtful attempt to put space between the you of yesterday and the you of today, the you that wants to renew you, a refresh, not an escape, but an up and away caper, the you in a craft, carving out a recrafting, a spaceship still firing, reaching out for more space, liberated from the gravitational pull of the shallow, the skin deep, the surface bound, for the deeper meaning of being out there, alone, and seeking a planetary beam me up where you rematerialize in another place, another time, no longer in survival mode, but still persistent, provocative, propulsive, tracking your transitional trajectory and moving, ever moving on your own steam, dissolving, resolving, and calmly, genuinely evolving. The price, escape velocity of one human leaving home, is still a mysterious, yet alluring, unknown. Oh. Thank you. That's it.
Julian, thank you so much. Always great to hear what you bring to us every week. Round of applause for Julian Matthews, reading to us from Malaysia. Thank you, Julian. On deck, Martina Robles Gallegos. Please welcome now the collab, Cathabella, Siggy, Jackie, and Chris. Hello to all of you.
Hello, everyone. Well,
So,
just like I asked Rick, what emotional experience is connected in your mind with a rose or a key? And this is what we came to.
What did you ask me?
Oh, I asked the other Rick, but I'll ask
the
you.
other. Oh, because I have
That's
no
okay,
recollection.
because you have to express
All right,
this in your
okay,
flutesome
keys. All right,
way.
here we go.
Okay, so the key to the rose. How I danced. You'll remember this, Rick. How I danced with a bright red veil. The swirl on stage, captured by the camera in the shape of a rose.
nice.
You too, Jackie.
The jangle of keys around the necks of passersby. Who's here to unlock these invisible bars?
It's one of my favorites. Chris.
On my way home from elementary school, just 2 blocks, I picked roadside dandelions, daisies, or wild roses for Mom. You got that from some time long ago.
I did. I found it. I thought it was perfect.
Thank you.
Eavesdropping.
On myself in the shadowed garden.
The roses tilt their heads to my soliloquy.
For Miss Rose, a special gift created, secret garden made. A joyous high tea, platters stacked with mini treats.
I could just see it, Siggy. Dad took me along to all the games and left the boys at home. I was bussed, but actually I was busy. I was busy sketching the roses he passed out to his friends. So weird, but that's a true story.
New Year's parade, roses and more roses. My high school band, looking like Halloween, wearing orange and black.
Pink spots on white roses. I pretend not to notice his acne scars.
Crepe paper roses, watching mother's graceful fingers form petal after petal, the scent of lavender.
Stepmom, great for Dad, but for us, a rose by another name.
A rose in a bouquet of snapdragons. I take pride in my cliches.
Giving up on keys, our neighbor has a keypad lock. I get the key rings from her troops, the Eiffel Tower and her safari giraffe.
Middle of the night, a nurse's panic voice. Locked box, key lost. Locksmith came and put Humpty Dumpty back together.
Again.
An ornate key left on the ledge of somewhere. I think it was Wilson Avenue, and I took it personally.
Overflowing box of memories, mystery keys to cars, apartments, houses, and diaries.
So much fun. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for the kind comments.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. Great collab as always. The line, I take pride in my cliches, rose to the top for me. Jackie, well done.
Okay.
Strong runner-up with taking Wilson Ave personally, Cathabella. Wilson.
Thank you, Rick.
And thank you, Rick.
It's a suling from Bali, Indonesia. It's part of the gamelan. All the other instruments are gongs and metal and percussion, but they use this flute. Suling.
Great.
Very good. All right. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Cathabella, Jackie, Siggy, Chris, and Rick. Well done to all of you. Thanks for being here. All right. Moving on. On deck is Heather Romero Kornblum. Please welcome now Martina Robles Gallegos. Hello, Martina.
Hello. Thank you. I changed my reading plan because José Enrique Medina was too good. So, okay. Guess I have two of my own. First one, who will look after the children? Can you hear me? Okay. When the masked and armed men bang on the door, who will protect the children? Who will keep them safe? When the children are hungry, who will feed them? When the children are sleepy, who will tuck them in? When the children are sick, who will take them to the doctor? When children are dirty, who will bathe them? When children feel pain, who will soothe them? When children feel scared, who will hold them? When children feel lonely, who will talk with them? When children are afraid, who will calm their fears? When children ask why they are being kidnapped, who will answer them? When children want to know who the masked men are, who will explain? When children ask for their parents, who will tell them where and why they were kidnapped? When children ask why the president hates them, who will answer them with honesty? When children listen to words of hatred, will anyone explain why those words are even allowed to be spoken? When children ask about their future, will anyone assure them they'll have one? Can anyone assure these children their lives will be better? Will they ever feel safe again? Will the nightmares go away? Okay, second one. This one was published in what? Don Bloom blog back in March. Hope and faith. When I know I've given my all, but my all hasn't been enough, should I give up? No, because even plants that wither come back to life. When I can no longer see light in people's eyes or hearts, should I give up? No, because even a straight ember can cause a fire. When I see people making me invisible, should I give up? No, because even a rusty jewel will shine again. When people call me names for something I had no control over, should I give up? No, because my list of beautiful names is much longer than theirs, and I created it with hope, faith, grace, and dreams that nobody will ever take away. When all doors slam forcefully on my face, should I then give up? No, because as long as I have hope in my heart and mind, I know other doors will open. When the few people I trusted let me down, should I give up? No, because that simply means I'm giving up on myself, and giving up is not in my nature. Thank you.
Inspirational idea for all of us, Martina. Never give up. You also don't have to worry about your work compared to anyone else's. You stand on your own and always bring us the good stuff. So thank you so much for being here. Round of applause for Martina Robles Gallegos. On deck, Marilee Johnson. Please welcome now Heather Romero Kornblum. Hi, Heather.
Hi. Yeah, I guess you guys can hear me now. Is it okay to say the F word in this reading?
Please do.
Okay, I'm gonna read this one. It's called Alienation. I fucked your ghost. I wanted to force you back into your body, alight the nerve endings, trigger the muscle memory left in our shells. I fucked your ghost to taste what sight and sound have stolen, to say your name again. I fucked your ghost because, afraid and alone, I already left this plane. I traversed other realms where I didn't lose you in the most uncanny way. Disheveled and hollow, sometimes it's easier to believe you're dead. I fucked your ghost. In another version, I made love to your ghost, tender and connected. I gazed into your eyes. But the stab of being forgotten is unbearable. I read my grief poems like an exorcism. I take the child I raised with you to appointments to process your ghostness. I want to show him pictures of our life sometimes, recall moments to honor who you were, who we were. Torn between erasing his life and living in your remains, I fucked your ghost. I fucked your ghost to leave my mark, to call you back to your mission from whatever vessel you boarded. I fucked your ghost to know that I'm still alive. So that's poem one. Should I read something on that same storyline or something very different and hopeful? Well, I don't know. I'm gonna go for the full exorcism. This one is called Roadside Unassist. I almost left you by the side of the road earlier this week. I didn't because I'm pathetic, because I wanted to look my son in the eye after, because I don't forget as easily as you do what I inflict on others, because all I could do was scream, my throat the only part of me that worked in that moment. The next day, I took my son to an appointment in a building I remember well, on a street that made up so much of our past life and memories, some of the happy times, as I euphemistically refer to many years of our marriage. Honesty or out, I screamed as we careened up the 5. I did not leave you by the side of the road. I completed the drive with you and put you in an Uber. Those happy times, while happy with dinners, movies, dancing, had tinges of sleights of hand, sideswiped and screaming for honesty. These days, I usually know better than to scream for honesty. I didn't know that 9 years into our relationship, you would laugh in the background on a 911 call. Or maybe it was a triage nurse who then called 911, saying you can revive me with CPR you learned in 1 high school hour. And you wouldn't epi me till full throat closure and me being unconscious for at least 2 minutes, while the operator screamed on speaker, "Don't listen to him, ma'am. You must epi yourself now." One time I struggled to remember how to use the EpiPen and the operator begged you to help me. When the paramedic showed up, you pretended not to know what was wrong. In the ambulance, I mentioned to one paramedic that you said he could revive me with that high school CPR, and he said not to trust your judgment as his eyes widened. The next day, taking my son to the appointment, I couldn't stop shaking. I couldn't stop shaking. Breathe.
Awesome poems tonight, Heather. It's no secret to me why I asked you to be a featured reader later than this year. Thanks so much for bringing those to us tonight. Well done.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thanks for enduring the exorcism with me.
I'm always up for an exorcism. Round of applause for Heather Romero Kornblum. Thank you, Heather. On deck, Bill Gaines. Please welcome now Marilee Johnson. Hello, Marilee.
Hi, thank you very much, Rick. And it was great to hear you, Jose. Just to put a plug in for Rick, this is his most recent book, High Moose Alert. I'm going to read a couple of poems, very short poems that were included in this The Alien Buddha Loves You recently. The first one doesn't really have a title. Well, neither of them do. But the first one is 6 lines of 6 words each, so I sort of think of it as 6 by 6. His hands gentle on her jaw, her slap hard on his cheek, their mouths silent save for breath. His a sharp intake of surprise, hers pumping in and out furiously, their goodbye too painful for words. Dried up tube of lube for dried up me. That's it for me. Short shorts.
We all love short shorts, as the commercial went way back then. Marilee, thank you so much. Thanks for both of those, and for plugging my book again. Quite an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, round of applause for Marilee Johnson. Thank you, Marilee. On deck, Heidi Casa. Please welcome Bill Gaines. Hi, Bill.
Hello, how are you? Great, awesome. I'm going to launch right into it. The new procrastination. Simply not doing's no longer enough. We need a new procrastination. We must reverse the flow of time itself somehow and begin to undo what we have failed to not do. But that sounds hard, so let's hold off on that. Snails. Time slips from our fingertips and dribbles to the ocean, where the earth rolls ahead of its trail of slime. Viscous reality bleeds from our eyes while we sleep. Sound needs gravity like a bottle needs a hand. We live in a swamp that can't be drained, but the mud can be shifted around. And that's a great.
That's how I spend most of the day, just shifting mud around, metaphorically and unfortunately for real. It's a mess in here. Bill, also no secret to me why you will be one of our featured readers later in this year. Thank you so much. Great work tonight. A lot of fun. Round of applause for Bill Gaines. On deck, Jennifer Elise Wang, please welcome now Heidi Casa. Hello, Heidi.
Hello, Rick. Hello, everybody. Jose, thank you for your fabulous reading tonight. I have 2. The door leading nowhere or everywhere. Each post solid, an inescapable rectangle, framing experience in authoritative lines. Posts piercing the sky, exact and total, undeniable. Weathered hinges uniting red-tinged wood and its green cast from sun and wind. This door for entrance and exit, a stopping point in a lawn, to the party in the hollow, the zygote of the adventure. The door's leaning slats have slices between, peeking into mirrored emptiness and dry grass behind and in front of the door that brings its own mist. The curious body doubles and yet feels invisible because the door leads nowhere, a gap in expectations, opening to nothing but the same beyond, like stepping into a parallel universe of your own face, precisely, not kin, a story without a proper conclusion. But the metal gridded cylinder window holds different views from each side. A green riot of bushes, or a slit of road, curving off the edges to elsewhere, with rolling mountain sentries behind. And I note the door handle is low, yet still capable. And now the door leading everywhere and nowhere. An invitation to abandon skin, transform into the dream, waiting in the barrel, the whispers lifting you up for once. Imagine the magic we've still left to use, or the magic that remembers what lies at its core. Who says we're alone in stepping into the unknown? Nothing before the door and nothing after, except the mundane film of a neighborhood lawn. Notches in the door, maybe scratches, from whatever creature passed through, or a rickety design touch gone awry. My hand reaches out for the handle, gravitated by mysterious forces in the door, or the certainty of possibility to shake the owner's hand who built the door, set it here, or left it on the property to madden the squirrels. Thank you.
It was a left turn there at the beginning, and I really enjoyed it. Outside of the fact that I'm for the squirrels and their mental health, so I just want to be sure that that was just a metaphor and you're not against the squirrels.
I'm not against squirrels, no.
Okay, good. The one in my backyard will be pleased to know that. There's also a bunny back there. I don't know if they know each other. Well done, Heidi. I also really want to know, where does this door lead? Everywhere, nowhere, both? I don't know. I still don't know. And maybe it's just better not to know. I may just stay in the room at this point, is what I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah, it was a door that I saw, and when I was traveling, someone had just like put a door in a yard, and it was, yeah, it's weird.
It is weird. All right, good. I'm glad you wrote it down. Round of applause for Heidi Casa. Well done. Okay. On deck, Dig Wayne, please welcome now Jennifer Elise Wang. Hello, Jennifer.
Hey, I've got two. The first is kind of a newer piece. This is Anxiety Attack. I try to brace myself for the barrage of fear, worry, insecurity, paranoia, but no soldier is ever truly ready for war. The arsenal I've amassed suddenly does not suffice, will lead to defeat. Asphyxiation approaches with each deep breath. My lung fails to hold. Biofeedback only confirms my weak state. Meditation leaves open to thoughts that strike impeccably and deep into my chest. There is no dodging, no escape. Journaling breeds more of these monsters, the next bigger than the last reflection. I thought I found magic bullets that were round or oblong and white, but they engage in friendly fire upon a body already under siege. I debate using something more mercenary outside of the law, but I'm too beaten to risk more consequences, so I hide under the covers until there is a temporary ceasefire, long enough for me to pretend I'm okay. And my second piece is an older piece that found a new home. On Labor Day, the Book of Jobs anthology got released, and I'm glad that they published my poem, Being Roommates with Strippers, because they recognize that sex work is real work. So this is Being Roommates with the Stripper. When your roommate is a stripper, you discover who makes the teeniest thong you can legally get away with, and that 7-inch pleasers are not too bad to walk in. When your roommate is a stripper, you start going to the gym more, not to have her body exactly, but to have the same gluteal control in order to twerk along with her at your in-home dance parties. When your roommate is a stripper, you see the stacks of ones, but not the 5s, 10s, or 20s she has given to the house and staff. When your roommate is a stripper, you stop laughing at jokes about her job because her colleague was stalked and another was threatened while the bartender laughed at the image of her possible demise. Every night it's a flip of the coin as to whether she'll be assaulted. When your roommate is a stripper, you learn about misogynoir, turfs, and swerfs, labor rights, and union-busting tactics, and that it's always sex worker and never prostitute, or the other word that sounds more apropos for fishing. When your roommate is a stripper, you get advice on how to set boundaries while still smiling at the customer. When your roommate is a stripper and getting ready for a night of picketing, while you've come home after overtime and drink a beer with some Tylenol for your carpal tunnel and plantar fasciitis and blink away your dry eyes, you realize you are selling your body too.
You've given us some important insights, Jennifer, into that concept there. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for both of your poems today. Well done. Round of applause for Jennifer Elise Wang. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
On deck, Fred Dodsworth, please welcome now Dig Wayne. Hello, Dig.
Hello, Rick. Hello, everybody. Two pieces, new pieces. First one's called Under the Bus. As a destination, little room for amateurs, always room for one more. Once under there, once under, hard as a dead motherfucker to get extracted. Under the bus, as a cliche, hangs in like, don't fuck with me, I'll fuck you up. Leave no doubt to throw or be thrown under the bus with your ass. Guess you ain't unfuckwittable. If you be thrown, people better than you knowing where the bus is for your convenience. If I knew the answer, held keys, powered to sanctify the truth world into a place of common lies, unnormalized, disrupt the corrupt, unhinge the lack of morality binge, the uneducated over-medicated, gender bender like a tattoo that you'll probably regret, whole millions, then I didn't do it. You knew I could. Would you throw me a tattle, have me thrown by the tail, rat me out to that cozy jagged corner in the wheel well with broken legs, unrecognizable as once matinee prices, blue horizons on the horizontal. Return trip no longer available due to profit promises, non-profit promises. Incompetence as a bullet point, or DE. I under the bus. Thanks. This one's called We Are Gathered Here Today. He always thought of others before himself. Maybe, maybe not. He was a people person, but he didn't like nobody. He was very generous with his art. He smiled easily, never reached his potential in spite of himself. Needed a woman to take care of him. He wasn't afraid to admit it. Spent his life trying to figure out who he was supposed to be and not who he was. It got too easy to laugh it off. He was a wisecrack factory that blew a gasket somewhere along the way. Uncomfortable with the spotlight, but sought it out. Poetry could have saved him if he would have let it. Thanks.
Do you think it's saving any of us tonight, Dig?
Do I think it's saving any of you tonight? I think it's saving everybody.
Mission accomplished.
If you let it. Sometimes.
Well, thank you. Cool presentation tonight. The music in the background added a nice little element there. It may get the video banned from YouTube if YouTube picks it up, but that's okay. I enjoyed the moment and experiencing it.
Well, thank you. I'm never sure if it's loud enough or too loud, but I feel like I need a little accompaniment, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Tip the band for me, Dig.
They're happy.
Okay, good. Round of applause for Dig Wayne. Thank you, Dig. On deck, MoHagani Magnetek. Please welcome now Fred Dodsworth. Hello, Fred.
Hello, Rick. I want to thank everyone here tonight. Very powerful, wonderful work. A lot of truth-telling and a lot of beauty and a lot of pain. Somebody read a poem by Naomi Shihab Nye, and so that got me to read a poem that I wrote in response to one of her poems called A Track Without a Train. A track without a train is a changed track, like the hole left when love disappears. That's not to say we ever stop loving. Perhaps it's just impossible to go on. A track without a train is a changed track. Too young, too confused, or too married. You, not me, or me, not you. It won't work, which isn't to say we weren't working each other over all day and night to morning's light. A track without a train is a changed track. Though I catch your scent or hear your melodies long after we've lost sight of each other's sighs, dreams we lived in, if we could be a crowd of me's. A track without a train is a change track. Can you hear those long lost whistles blowing of all the people we used to be so thoughtlessly because we were young and happy just to be? And then I'm going to run another poem, which I wrote a week ago. I do a Friday afternoon free poetry prompt on Zoom. If anybody's interested, let me know. It's free. This is called Say the Word. Say the word for love. I will not say it, but live it. Say the word for hate. I will not say it, for it hurts us. Say the word for death. It need not be said, for it comes of its own will. Say the word for all the words you can't find, glossolalia or gibberish. I don't understand. There is so little understood between us. I don't blame the person, but the words, so inadequate for the complexity of feelings, emotions, facile or false or conflicted, like some sweet and sour chow mein, or that English favorite Indian food. What do they call it? Chicken tikka masala. It wasn't an Indian dish, but now it is. Tomato soup from a can, a New World fruit. Spices such as cumin, coriander, and turmeric. Add ginger, garlic, butter, and or cream, and the crown spice, garam masala. Cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, and cumin again, and more coriander, black pepper, nutmeg, gifts from around the world to cover the taste of food gone bad due to lack of refrigeration. One world, one people, one food. Enjoy. Babble, babbling brooks of chaos and harmony. Let's now break bread with a stranger. Let's eat. Thank you.
I'm starving. Just in time, Fred. Thank you so much for the invitation to a meal. And it's been a while since we've seen you. Thanks for making it back. Good to see you again.
Been very, very busy.
If you got a link to the Friday thing that you do, put that in the chat. If people can click somewhere or find a way to contact you about that.
I'm just going to put my email in, and it's every Friday. You don't have to show up if you don't want to. We send you the prompts out for the next week, or for the last week every Friday with the invite. And it's all love. It's one of the sweetest groups ever because I don't let anybody criticize or offer any suggestions.
Very good. All right, Fred, thank you so much for that. Good to see you again. Fred Donsworth, everyone. Round of applause. Okay, on deck is James Coates. Please welcome MoHagani Magnetek. Hello, MoHagani.
Hey, you hear me well? Sweet. Oh man, I'm so thankful to be here with y'all. This is like, really food for the soul. I'm glad that I follow Fred because like I'm like cooking dinner, so I want to, share some food poetry too. So I have two pieces here to share, and this is titled "What Can They Not Do?" You should do something with all those lovely eggs, like share them with the world, fried, sunny side up, I guess. What can they not do? The fried eggs. Fried eggs can drive a bus, definitively end a debate, snakily reply to rolling eyes, crispily cure cancerous cells, accelerate through black holes. Fried eggs can entice a kiss, write love letters for lovers, forget about past to be present, whisper the sweetest pillow talk, decorate sad lines of aloneness. Fried eggs are like the Wu-Tang Clan, gritty, hardcore, non-filtered, lyrical, salty, on-demand, savory at will, floetic, fresh, fly, ferocious, fire, nothing to fuck with. Did your day go as well with all those lovely dreams, like the kind not shared, scrambled, light, fluffy, perfect? They can't do the many things, the fried eggs. And that's that piece. Okay, so here, cause as my wife is like here tuning in to the poetry session with me, and we having a great time just vibing with y'all. So this is one I actually wrote for or about her or just about us a few years ago that I hadn't shared. And it's titled Making a House a Home. Life growing in a row on our windowsill. Warmth of midnight sun nurtures African violet and geranium. New words added to my glossary. Blossoming, blooming with love from her hands that place conch shells full of soil, spring adjacent to basil and thyme, splashes of crimson on serrated leaves. A succulent is in the mix this morning, together on the windowsill, silhouette of her dreams as she sleeps next to me in a new dimension of color, our life growing. And that's that. Thank you all.
Well, Ghani, I'm glad you're here with us as well. How cool that you showed up the week before your featured reading. What a great taste, not just of fried eggs, but of you as a poet. And really looking forward to hearing your work next week. So thank you so much for being here. Round of applause for MoHagani Magnetek. So cool. It's going to be a great reading next week. We've just got two more on the open reading list, and I'm going to close out the open reading at the end. So on deck is Marietta Maglis. Please welcome now James Coates. Hello, James.
Hey, Rick. Hey, everyone. It's been a while, but I'm so happy to hear all your reading. Beautiful to see your faces as well. Here on one poem, La Mosca. Barges into the home, dark green vessel with wings, soulless black eyes, zipping around like they own the place, hissing in your ear, touching you where you don't want, or maybe they enter in by sneaking through a cracked window under the cover of darkness. Fresh out the trash can, chilling with rotten food, or right off dog shit outside some inconsiderate owner did not clean up. And that's where these disgusting insects belong. Not indoors, torturing families with their obnoxious attacks on personal space, not in the kitchen, perched, waiting for the delicious meal prepared by diligent hands to ruin it, to infest the food with eggs, baby maggots crawling out of anything left unprotected. Even your own flesh, if not careful, becomes a breeding ground for larvae. No, a quick life cycle of 2 weeks is not fast enough for them to meet their end, and spiders are too patient at their jobs. So with furious and rightful vengeance I hunt, looking to smite them down, to liberate our homes from these sanctioned invaders, wire fly swatter with blue plastic netting, or pink chunkla, even an old dish child turned into a makeshift tool of resistance. I will not rest until this plight is eliminated, removed with prejudice. My family deserves to know peace. Thank you.
Well, you've given us a whole other perspective on eggs, James, from the previous poem. It's a secret theme developing here at the end of the reading today. A warning to those of you who would think that fried eggs can do anything, that they could also infest your food if it's spider eggs. Thank you, James. Good to see you again. Thanks for being here. Don't be a stranger. I think I have to tell you that every few months, and you forget, and then you come back, and it's fine. Round of applause for James Coates. Thank you, James. I'm on deck to close out the open reading. Please welcome now Marietta Maglis. Hello, Marietta.
Hello. I want to share something. Spinning life. I'm ready to live on this planet, moving in spirals, up and down, around the sun, around its own axis, between the flowers and ancestral fossilized rocks, rocking their poles. I'm waiting for the butterflies to hover above. I am a combination of C, H, O, and N. Ice melting to give water and water evaporating, kinetic energy and temperature inside of a plasma having free ions. I wonder at the icy comets hitting the core of our sun. I wonder at the waterfalls clappers inside any empty mountain and hollowness where the sunlight doesn't make angles. I wonder at the solar flares hitting the Oort clouds. I wonder at times if it is indispensable to be known or not. I'm sure that after being cataclysmically submerged in water, any broken mountain becomes a memory of an unknown knowing to ring the bells in a surviving church. I'm sure that the entirety of this immense and civilized life can burn someday, in between oxygen and hydrogen, to be nothing. I'm not sure I deserve to be saved by the Lord, but I keep hoping.
Thank you.
Marietta, thank you so much. Nice to see you again. Marietta is reading to us from France, so we've got officially 3 continents represented in tonight's reading, which is very cool. Cool presentation. Thank you, Marietta. Thank you for being here. All right, I'm going to close out the open reading with 2 poems. So we all know I went to Alaska last summer and wrote this whole book of poems on the way there and in there called High Moose Alert. I'm going to read, just as a quick aside, my wife just crocheted a moose. Okay, that was the entire aside. This is a piece that I wrote on the boat from Vancouver up into Alaska. It's called Conversation Before the Margaritas and Mojitos Class. It's a real live conversation that happened. Where will you be after the mixology class? At the bow of the ship screaming, I'm the king of the world. Should I meet you there? I probably won't be wearing any clothes. I won't be meeting you there. That's that whole piece. And finally, I'm going to read to you this piece that I wrote for this week's Torah portion. It responds to this line of text: you must not keep 2 supposedly identical but different weights in your pocket, a heavy one for buying and a light one for selling. This poem is called Honesty is the Best. You must not steal from the poor and give to the rich. You must not take the wind from the earth and then claim the wind has no value. You must not free the ones whose crimes have been proven. You must not hide the files because your name is in the files. You must not tell the world you date your daughter. You must not send the army to where there is peace. You must not pretend to have a hole in your ear. You must not hire workers to work and then not pay them a single shekel. You must not pave over the beauty of your garden. You must not arrest one person whose skin is one color and ignore criminals whose skin is your color. You must not take your citizens from this historically stolen land and send them to Bolivia or Alligator Alcatraz. You must not grab them by the anything. They are not yours to grab. Nothing is yours, nothing but the truth, and so much more written in a book you once held but never read. Okay. There you go. Can we see the crocheted moose? I'm going to have to get back to you on that. It's in another part of the house. I'll prepare better next time. Thank you all very much for being here. What an epic reading we had. I'm going to paste the stuff in the chat that I pasted earlier for our featured reader, José Enrique Medina. You can tip Jose for his reading via PayPal or Venmo right there. At those IDs, you can download the broadside for his poem at that next link on the Cobalt Poets website. When you're on the website, click on email list if you're new here and you'd like to get the emails that come every week to let you know who's reading and have a convenient Zoom link and see the cool flyers that we make, etc., etc. Also on that website, you can see the calendar of who's coming up at the reading. As we already know, MC MoHagani Magnetek from Alaska, where I was taking a boat just to be exposed to her poems in the museum. Though I didn't realize it at the time, will be our featured reader next week. Really looking forward to that. Finally, back to Jose. You can see his website, medinawrites.com, and check out his book, Haunt Me, on the Rattle website at that link right there. If you aren't one of the many thousands of people who already got it because you're a Rattle subscriber. So there you go. Thank you all so much. Really fantastic evening. I'm going to click the Ask All to Unmute button so everyone can say hi to each other.
Nice to see you all tonight.
Hello. Seeing you guys.
Great job, Jose.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
The poetry was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for a wonderful night. Look,
I gotta go get some fried eggs now.
Sounds good.
This is wonderful.
No spider eggs.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you to everyone. This is a great night.
Yes, on fried eggs.
Sorry. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night. Love you.
Good
night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Night.
Thanks again, Rick. Bye-bye.
Bye.
おやすみなさい。